What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel. I am Ken, and today we're talking about Jaws. We're talking about Jaws because Universal just put out a new 50th anniversary 4K Steelbook limited edition, guys. Emphasis on the limited because I think this is sold out right now. I was looking on Groove. It's sold out. Amazon, it's also sold out. I purchased this off of Groove because it was $29.99. And I kind of did it last minute because not that I was going back and forth. I knew I kind of wanted this when they announced it because it has a new documentary on it. Yes, I know it's going to be on streaming. We'll get into all that stuff in the video, but it had the new documentary and the artwork on this was just freaking so cool. It was just so cool. So I knew that I wanted this, but I didn't pre-order immediately. And then a couple of weeks ago, I realized I haven't pre-ordered this yet. So I got on Groove and I ordered this thing for $29.99 and now it's out of stock. I don't know if it'll come back in stock. Maybe it will. But currently I'm not finding it on Amazon and I'm not finding it on Groove. But there is, I will say, if you want to own this like physically with the documentary, there's also a 50th anniversary 4K slipcover version as well that you can get. But the slipcover is definitely not as cool as this 4K Steelbook, guys. Sorry, I hate to break it to you, but it's not. But guys, we're going to be unboxing this today in the video. I've never really got a chance, at least I don't think I did, because I've got the 45th anniversary edition, which was the first time they put this out on 4K. Nice lenticular cover. I think I just unboxed this when I got it. I don't know if I like reviewed the film or because this is like the very like early stages of the channel. I wasn't doing like full 4K reviews and stuff. But maybe I talked about the picture. I can't quite remember. So I don't know if I've done like a full like 4K review for Jaws. Not saying that this is going to be that, but it's just kind of interesting because I've done full reviews for Jaws 2 on 4K, Jaws 3D on 4K with the whole AI, nightmare stuff. And then I did Jaws the Revenge as well on 4K. So it's nice to go back and get to talk about the original, guys, because Jaws, like, I freaking love the sequels. I do. Watched all these films so many times, but to say that like the sequels can like hold a candle to the original would be just flat out lying. Like there may be people that enjoy part 2 or part 3 more. And when I was a kid, like I loved part 3 because it took place at SeaWorld and I just thought that was super fun. But as I got a little bit older, of course, like you recognize the greatness of this film. So yeah, we're going to talk about the film a little bit. Of course, guys, how can you do a video on Jaws and not talk about the movie and just what it means to you for a little bit? We'll talk about the 4K. We'll do the unboxing. Again, I want to compare this to the past editions. I do have this lenticular cover right here, which is pretty damn cool. Look at that, guys. His lower jaw is moving. Now, I think when they put this out, this was the first edition that came out of the standard. I guess this was kind of the standard. And then they did a Steelbook as well, which I did not buy the Steelbook when this came out. Come on, guys. I don't double dip day one. Well, sometimes I do. But I got this, I think, a year later because I just stumbled upon it at Target for 20 bucks. And I'm like, oh, well, I love Jaws. I need to have the 4K Steelbook in the collection, which is another thing I want to get into. This video is going to be all over the place, guys. Another thing I want to get into with this video here today is just like the attitude towards like triple dipping, double dipping and stuff like that. Like, is it okay to triple dip? Like, especially if it's like one of your favorite movies. People do it for sure. And then other people just kind of like, look down on people that do that, I feel like. So I don't know. I want to kind of get into that, kind of crack open the collector mindset a little bit in this video. But yeah, I do have both of these editions. I do want to compare these editions to this new 50th anniversary edition, just in case some people out there had some questions on like just how much of a difference like is this? Like, is it an upgrade at all? Like we'll get into all that stuff. Just talking about the movie itself, guys. I mean, directed by Steven Spielberg. It might be his best film, but that's tough to say when you're talking about Steven Spielberg because he's got so many bangers and like so many movies that just mean so much to me from my childhood. Like E.T. is probably my favorite. I just love that movie so much, but also Jurassic Park. Like I watched that movie so many times as a kid. Like I probably watched Jurassic Park more than I watched Jaws because I think I watched some of the sequels more than I watched the original when I was a kid. But, like, every time I revisit this film, and this is what a movie I can watch, like, twice a year. Like, I freaking love it. Probably more than that, like, if I had time to do it. But every time I go back and watch this, like, I just get drawn in and sucked into the story and the characters every freaking time. It's incredible. This movie, I love it so much, and the music's so incredible. But just the last hour of the film, the whole film's great, but the last hour where the three guys are on the boat, you got Quint, you got Hooper, you got Brody. They're all on the boat. They're all on an adventure to take this shark out. It's just some of the best, like, cinematic, like, sequences and moments, like, in all of movie history. And it's also amazing because pretty much every single person that I've met in the movie community, in my real life, just like throughout my entire life, like, loves Jaws. Like, this is like on a lot of people's top 5 favorite movies of all time, top 10 favorite films of all time. Like, if you're into movies, like, Jaws is one of your favorites. Like, you're gonna hear a lot of people on here talking about Jaws, and they're all gonna say it's one of their favorite films. Like, that's nothing new to say. And it's like nobody wants to be cool and say that Jaws sucks. Like, nobody wants to do that because you wouldn't be cool. But, like, there are contrarians out there for sure that'll get on here and they'll say, well, it's a little slow here and there. It's not one of my favorites, but I do recognize the historical significance. Like, you don't hear that a lot. Most people are just like, yeah, Jaws is really just freaking good. Like, because it is. Like, it's impossible to not love this movie. I think it's one of those films. If you're one of those people that don't like the movie Jaws, like, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know why. And don't just say something stupid like it's slow or the shark looks fake. Like, give me, like, real reasons. Let's get into the unboxing, guys. We talked about Jaws enough. Look at this Steelbook. Oh my goodness. I just had to get it, guys. I had to. And, like I said in the opening, I've got the movie on 4K. I've got the 4K right here, 4K Steelbook. And I've got the regular 4K, with the nice little booklet inside. I didn't need Jaws on 4K. It's the same 4K. They did it right the first time with the Dolby Vision, the HDR. It's not a new transfer. It's the exact same transfer. I didn't need Jaws on 4K. Now, they did entice me with that new documentary, but I'll be honest, the documentary is going to be on streaming. Now, it is nice to own it physically, I will say that, but it's going to be on Hulu. It's going to be on Disney Plus, and I think in like 2 or 3 weeks, which is cool that physical media got the exclusive, like, early rights to that documentary, and then it's going to be out later for everybody else. That is kind of neat because you don't see that too often. Usually it comes to theater, streaming, then it goes to physical media, and this is kind of the other way around. So that's kind of cool. But I'll be honest, even if the documentary wasn't on this, I probably would have bought it anyway because the artwork is so freaking awesome. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know I'll get criticism and I'll get heat in the comment section. Why, I don't know. Like, why do you all care what I do with my money? Like, that's beyond me. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. Like, that's fine. That's cool. Like, if you have it on 4K and you're good with that, then that's fine. There's kind of a civil war, I feel like, going on in the collecting community where people are like, I'm for the movies, where I'm all about the movies. I'm all about what's on the disc. I got it once and that's all I need. I don't need to go out and buy multiple editions. I don't need to do that dirty collector stuff. There's those people, and then there's other people. It's like, I want to buy 500 editions of the same movie. That's a little extreme. Maybe somebody does have 500 editions of the same film, but we all just need to understand that we're all different, right? We're all different. We all have different collecting mindsets. We all have different standards for our collection. We all have different goals for our collection. And if you're like me, like, your standards and your rules, like, they're constantly evolving and they're constantly changing. Like, how I feel about collecting this week is different than how I felt last week. Like, it's really strange. Like, it's constantly evolving and changing. But one thing that remains the same is I get really into, like, the cool collectible, like, nature of some of these releases. Like, I like good packaging, and there's not anything wrong with that. Like, it's no different than buying multiple, like, t-shirts of Jaws, or buying, like, figures of Jaws, or buying, toys or socks or coffee mugs or stuff like that. Like, it's the same thing. And I get it. People don't want to reduce movies to a collectible item, but that's kind of the fun of it, right? Like, that's the fun of this. Like, yes, we love the movies. That's where it started. But to take it a step further and to collect, like, cool things that had to do with that movie, which I would classify this as, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just cool. Like, especially if you're a movie fan, to have these like collectible items like in your collection that you can grab off the shelf, look at, admire, remind yourself why you like love the movie. Like looking at this for the next like 10 to 15 years is going to be fantastic. And it's going to remind me every time, like, why, I bought this, why I fell in love with this film. I'm going to reminisce on the film. Just looking at the Steelbook, it's going to make me want to rewatch the film again. So I think that artwork and packaging, like, is kind of underrated in this community. I'll be honest. And it's kind of, looked down upon. And I don't think it should be. There's nothing wrong with double dipping, triple dipping, quadruple dipping, especially if it's a film, that you love. I get it. If you haven't seen it, you buy six different versions of it. Maybe that's extreme. But even that, again, collect how you want. But yeah, guys, I've spoke my piece. Let's unbox this damn thing. Artwork's incredible. Look at that, guys. I love the freaking the sharks in the center. You got the freaking font underneath. You got all the characters. You even got the freaking mayor right there, guys. I love it. I just love it so much. And the girl up there, it kind of, blends the original poster with the characters on the side. It's just incredible. You got the sign right there, the boat. It's just amazing. On the back, you got the sign, no swimming, hazardous area, beach close. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Let's open this thing up. On the inside, we've got, so what I did, guys, I've started to do this, like if they've got a sticker on the outside of the plastic, like I'll peel it off and I'll put it on the inside. So that's what this is. This was on the outside of the Steelbook, but it's basically advertising the new documentary, which we'll talk about here in a second. But the documentary gets its own disc right here, guys. And this is the big difference when you're comparing it to the other 4K releases. They do not have this disc because this is a brand new documentary on this release. And I do like that it has its own disc and it wasn't just, put on the 4K or the Blu-ray. I think that's pretty cool. And then you got the 4K right here. And then you also have the Blu-ray. So this is a 3-disc set. And then you got some nice, images of our 3 leads on the boat right there battling the shark, which was really awesome. But just look at this thing again in its entirety, guys. It's really amazing. It is really, I love it. I think it's like when I usually like rank my favorite Steelbooks of the year. I would be shocked if we get to the end of the year and this isn't at least in my top 5 Steelbooks of the year. I think it's that good. I think it's one of the best Steelbooks. It's definitely better. I don't like hate this Steelbook by any means, but I do think it's better than this original Steelbook that came out with the initial 4K release. And just speaking on the 4K quality, well, let me give away this digital code. Whoever wants it. If you want Jaws on 4K, you didn't get it yet, here you go. But just, speaking on the transfer, Universal, guys, they got it right the first time. There was no need for any additional works or anybody thinking this is like a new restoration or something like that. It is not. It's the same 4K, and it's one of the best 4Ks, maybe a top 10 4K ever. Like, I think that Universal did that good of a job for this movie. Every time I watch this movie on 4K, I am just blown away all over again. I think this is one of the best 4Ks, one of the best 4Ks of a classic film restoration ever. And I challenge anybody to challenge me on that in the comment section, because I think Jaws is top tier. I think it's top tier. But just comparing it to this Steelbook right here, it's a nice Steelbook. You got the girl swimming on the back. You open this up, and this is, just in case you all haven't seen these Steelbooks. But on the inside, you have the same discs. You have the 4K disc right there. This one has all the kids running out of the ocean. And then you got the Blu-ray disc back there. So it's a nice Steelbook. And look, guys, I'm going to give just in case nobody redeemed this. I don't know if I ever gave this away back in the day. But there you go. There's 2 copies of Jaws I tried to give away. All right. And then lastly, we have the kind of like a box set release, I would say. Kind of a hard box a little bit, but it's got a lenticular cover on here. It's a side loader, which you got the girl swimming on the back right there as well. Inside, you got a regular 4K case, which this is what sells right now. There was, I think, a slipcover version of this that they released after this limited box set sold out. But I think if you buy it now off of Amazon, the 45th anniversary edition without the documentary, you'll just get the standard case right here, which this has been on Groove guys for like $11. So again, you don't have to get this new 4K edition like for the documentary. You can still get Jaws on 4K on Amazon for like $14 right now, the 45th anniversary, and you'll still get the fantastic restoration. But yeah, guys, this is nothing that anybody hasn't seen before. Bam. You got the 4K, you got the Blu-ray on the inside. It's pretty crazy. I got 3 4Ks of Jaws, and I've got 3 Blu-rays of Jaws. I used to have it on Blu-ray, but I think I sold it to Half Price Books or something, or gave it away a number of years ago, probably after I got the 4K. And then you got a nice little booklet on the inside also, with some cool stuff, writings and storyboards and drawings and stuff like that, which is really cool. So, I mean, like I said, guys, this is just one of my all-time favorite films. I'm happy to have 3 versions of it. I'm not going to get rid of any of these. Like, I freaking love this movie, and I love to be able to go over to my shelf and to see all 3 of these versions. Getting into the documentary, guys, Jaws at 50. Jaws at 50, the definitive inside story. One of the best movie documentaries I've ever seen. I know a lot of people, the big thing when, one of these releases comes out, and we've had tons of past releases because we've gotten a lot of past Jaws documentaries, which are available on all 3 of these editions. And I think were available on the Blu-ray edition back in the day. But you got, the shark is still not working, which I think came out back in 2007 with maybe the DVD release, or maybe it was the Blu-ray release. Maybe it was the initial Blu-ray. And then you have one that came out in like 96 or 97, The Making of Jaws. So there's been a lot of like very long, extensive documentaries. And I've seen The Shark is Still Working. I don't know if I've watched The Making of Jaws all the way through, but The Shark is Still Working is fantastic. It's a fantastic documentary. I still think that this one, I don't know, there was just something about it. I know that people say that what else is there to say? Like they said it all already about Jaws. Why do we need new features? Why do we need new this, new that? Like we already know everything we need to know about Jaws. For me, it's not like about the information, because you can look all the information up on like Wikipedia, Google. There's plenty of articles written about Jaws. I just like hearing films like reevaluated at like certain points in time. Like I just think that that's interesting, like our perspective on this film at this specific moment in time. So The Shark is Still Working came out about 20 years ago now. Like that came out about 20 years ago. So people will say, well, that covered everything. Well, it didn't cover what people think of it now in 2025. And that's what I'm interested in. The cultural relevance, like what are the things that it inspired like in the past 20 years? Like who are the filmmakers that have come out since that past documentary came out that it inspired? Like you got Jordan Peele in this documentary. You got Guillermo del Toro, Emily Blunt, who's not a filmmaker, but she's an actress. I don't even know why she was in this. Was she in a Steven Spielberg movie? I can't think of one, but she was in it. You just have great. James Cameron is in this documentary, like talking. I don't know if James Cameron's done a Jaws documentary. Steven Spielberg, like just to be able to reflect on his film 50 years after he made it and like dive into things that he hasn't really dove into before, because now he maybe feels comfortable enough to do it, like the PTSD that this film cost him. Like maybe he has dove into that before. This documentary just really goes into some deep, like emotional territory, and I appreciated it for that. And it tells the story of Jaws. It tells you have the daughter of the author, Peter Benchley, like the original novel. Like you have her talking about this movie. You have the son of Quint, Robert Shaw, is in this documentary. So like there's just so many people. Like I'm not covering everybody because I can't think of everybody off the top of my head, but they're all giving their perspective on this film as it turns 50. And to me, I think that's interesting because movies change, we change, movies change. The culture changes like through time. And I always think it's interesting to look at stuff at different points in time and evaluate stuff in a more like retroactive sense. Like, yes, we got a great documentary back in 2007. That doesn't mean we don't need another one 20 years later. So I would love another Jaws documentary in 70 years. And then a whole new crop of filmmakers to come talk about this film and talk about how it inspired them. This isn't just like talking heads talking about the film. It's people that matter. you know, in the world of Jaws and in the world of filmmaking today. So that's why I love the documentary. I thought it was fantastic. Yes, you're going to be able to watch it on streaming. You're going to be able to watch it on Hulu. But I like owning it physically, guys, because again, that's what we're all about here, guys. We're about owning stuff physically. But that's all I have to say, guys. I said my piece, so that's the big difference here. Nothing really different about this release than the past releases, other than the new documentary. So thank you. Oh, and the new fantastic artwork as well. Thank you all so much for watching, though. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.